takeover on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
That's right. We're back. It's Tuesday. Ermanni and Networks with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us today, but my main man who I haven't seen this year, Anson Wells. Happy New Year to you, my brother. How you doing?
Who are these people in here?
Oh, we're gonna get to them, but it's about you right now, man. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really well. I got a chance to go to the Pistons game last night, see Mr. Big Shot say hello, and well, we'll talk about it. But it was a darn good game last night.
Shout out to Detroit Pistons, winners of 8 of 10. We'll get into that. I want to talk, obviously, our Pistons guys in the studio, Anson Wells. I know you're chomping at the bit. We'll get into that, as well as the Detroit Red Wings, who 5 in a row is what they're trying to go for tonight against the Ottawa Senators. We'll get into that as well, but let's keep doing the hellos. Maria Adamo is joining us in the audio booth. How you doing? Happy New Year as well. Good?
Oh, it was great.
It was good? You was in Florida, got a little sun?
I got a little sun.
You were complaining a little bit, though. You said it wasn't as hot as you wanted.
It wasn't that hot.
What's not hot?
It was like 60s.
Oh, guess what it is outside? It's 22.
But you know what? I like the 80s.
Okay.
High 70s was not bad.
I tell you what.
Bad time to go to Florida.
Go back to Florida in about 2 weeks. You'll get everything you want. I promise you that.
I'm on my way right now.
Check you out. Tom Mazaway, our resident uncle in this. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, guys. It's good to be with you guys. Anson, haven't seen you in a while. Great job filling in for us the whole damn holiday season.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to you, Anson.
It was a
for
pleasure,
sure.
man. I mean, I missed you guys.
Yeah.
I love doing this, but it is fantastic to have you guys back. That's
Hey,
for
I
sure.
love that Bobby Lane card you brought in.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, they've seen it. I showed it a couple times, but yeah, I was chomping at the bit to show that to you.
Mr. 1957. I want to say they won that where the Tigers played, correct?
That's right.
I know a little something about
go.
that. My man, Pete Spyback over there. Speaking of winners, how you doing, brother?
Good afternoon, guys. I'm wearing my coat. I might be coming down with a little something, who knows. But I got my Platinum Dolls hat on from Maz's brother-in-law in Jersey.
You little
Thanks,
miscreant,
Mike.
you.
We got to bring you to clubs of Jersey. That's what we bring you when we
Is that what you managed?
No, I didn't manage Platinum.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
Pete,
Managed the Rawhide, though.
Pete, with everything going on over at Fox, man, you might want to be careful with wearing those cans on your head there, buddy.
Maybe I'm wearing it in the spirit of.
100%. Before we jump into the Lion, before we jump into Detroit sports, because what a time to be a Detroit sports fan. I
Real
know it's
talk,
I
man.
know it's early. Man, I don't want to get too hyped, but it's looking real good. Couple things for you. Last night, WWE Raw appeared for the very first time on Netflix. Wanted to see, talk about it in the chat a little bit. If you watched it, tuned in, what did you think of it? I myself, who no longer watch, Raw or SmackDown, more so just WrestleMania or Rumble, I thought it was the best production that WWE's ever had. You look at the intro video, the beginning of the show. I thought it was brilliant. It drew me in. It was like an artist with a paintbrush, kind of what they were doing. So it was cool. And then they bought the boss, or the final boss out, The Rock, like that in the beginning, so that was cool. But I still probably won't tune in, but the production value was there. And for the people that are watching sports streamed on Netflix, there was no hiccups. There was no hangups. There was no Tyson, no Jake Paul. And even on Christmas Day, I think there was a little bit of a delayed process. There was none of that. So I think, Netflix they're figuring it out, because there's a lot of money that Netflix has.
The Rock's got about 76% of the stocks now for that network. Not Netflix, but not WWE. What are they calling that whole conglomerate?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Like TVKO or TKO.
It's also connected to the UFC.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
UFC
He's got,
too,
Dana White.
Let me look it
yeah,
up.
he's got like 76%. I mean, this guy.
He'll be a billionaire before this year is
It's
over.
amazing.
Yeah, he'll be a billionaire before this year is over.
Netflix is, let's face it, they're going to be the real deal. They are. You're looking at a guy who used to get Netflix delivered in a CD.
100%.
All right, so I've been with them since $5 a month, and here it is, $23 a month later, and it's only going to go up, man, if you want the whole package. But I'm sure they did a great job.
And also crazy that Blockbuster had the opportunity to purchase Netflix
Oh,
for
Yep.
$2 million.
ain't that
Or
something?
it was like 15. I'm tripping. I mean, it's like $10 million is what they could have bought it for. Well, Blockbuster messed that one up. Something else that's coming out, I don't know if you're a golfer, if you watch golf, you're into golf.
Oh, boy.
The TGL comes on tonight, which is professional golfers, Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods,
Playing
are
video games.
pretty much. But it's golf simulator. But to your point, it is on the simulator. It's not on the course. But they have this whole warehouse type deal where it's actually sand. They have sand trap. They have some putting that they're going to do as well.
You shoot off of real grass, too.
All that money that they make, all that money they have. So
That's Tiger and Rory's deal.
it's Tiger and Rory's deal. Hence why they weren't necessarily talking smack to the PGA when all the stuff was going on. We understand now why. Interested, not interested, answer.
Well, that's my question for you guys: is what makes you choose this over watching the guys on the golf course? And there's only one thing that I can think of, and that is the intimacy of the conversation and banter.
Yeah.
Because these guys are typically, they walk up the fairway together sometimes, but they're often going off and doing their own things. There's some closed conversation between them and their caddy, and you might get a little bit of, on the tee or post green, post putt conversation. You're going to get a up and close view of and listen to who these guys are, what their personalities are. Yeah. Well, if there's competition between them, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm kind of one of those old people now that I looked back in 2020. I'm like, why are people streaming DJ shows? No one's going to watch that, but they did. And this new generation loves to watch stuff at home, and they're very comfortable with video games. And I was joking half when I said this, but you see so many people go to places like Top Golf and all that. So there's a generation that I think will love this.
All right, Pete, coming to you. Sure. Interested, not interested?
On WWE and Netflix, very good.
No.
The golf. Yeah, the golf. Sorry, I had so many things going on. I'm sitting at the golf.
Sorry.
No, I'm not. Honestly, Bray, not for me, man. I'm more into the college basketball coming up this winter. So honestly, that's my short answer, my friend.
Your turn, Maz. Interested, not interested?
By the way, A-Diz said TKO is the name of that.
TKO Holdings.
TKO Holdings.
So that's what The Rock owns. WWE under it, whatever the hell the other
that's
one is.
That's when they merged the UFC, and that's when they sold their shares.
As far as Tiger and Rory go,
yeah.
I think it's going to be a big hit. Now, I don't really watch golf, as you know. I'm not a big fan, but if these guys are putting their mark on it, I believe it will be a big hit. I do. Matter of fact, I know somebody from the PGA that my daughter knows that has gotten her many jobs in the past, left the PGA officially to run this corporation. They're not going anywhere. This new golf thing. It's going to be a big hit. I really believe that.
Maria, I don't know where you are with golf, but will you be interested in this TGL?
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of understand golf.
Okay.
So I'm interested.
So that's par for the course.
Where's the rim shot?
You guys weren't here earlier. A little conversation that was happening between Anson and Maria. I'm interested, and I'm interested for the same reasons that Anson laid out. A lot of times these golfers, you watch them, man, like they're straight-laced, they're up the course, they're dialed into their shots. They don't give you much. Golf is that classy. Yeah, it's all about the golf etiquette. But I like to see what's behind the curtain. You get a little peek behind the curtain when Tiger plays against Phil Mickelson for the $5 million purchase, or Tom Brady and it was Aaron Rodgers. So I like you said, the banter, the S-talking, and getting after it. What's Tiger thinking before Tiger hits a shot? So I'm interested in that regard of it. So, let us know what you think in the chat.
I like your spin on the celebrity golf outings because you get a lot of that banter.
It's fun.
But what you just hit was the competition of two guys actually squared up against each other without a Tom Brady or Jeff Daniels to kind of alleviate that stress and tension between two guys trying to legitimately win a match. So we'll get a lot of that. I like that.
Also, too, you ever know with the All-Star games, the baseball All-Star games? One of my favorite things about those, Maz, is when they're talking to a pitcher as he's on the mound and he's telling you what he's going to do.
Very cool.
Why is he going to do it? Or they're talking to an outfielder that's like, the reason this is good. Hold on 1 second. Whoop, 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 whoop. And you just watch that athletic ability or them being dialed in. So I'm gonna tune in, and until I get reason not to tune in.
Were you ever mic'd up?
Yeah, I got mic'd up.
Yeah. Did you say anything bad? A little bit.
Once I did. I was mic'd up 3 times in my career. Once I dropped a couple F-bombs. Like, it wasn't a good game for the Browns.
Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot of good games for the Browns.
You could have guessed what team I was mic'd up on when I said it didn't go well.
No doubt.
You could have guessed that it was the Cleveland Browns. I think we got blew out, too, by the Steelers. So.
And by the way, Rando Smalls on the Super Chat says, your jacket is off the hook.
I appreciate that,
so
man.
Thanks to Rando.
Shout out to the Detroit Red Wings and shout out to Randall as well, man. I try to 2025. I'm trying to come with a new drip and a fresh haircut.
Speaking of Super Chat, while you guys are away, we really have been pressing the Super Chat.
What do you think about it?
What about the super chat or the
Yeah.
jacket? I think they're
No,
both fire.
the super chat.
I think they're both fire. Listen, we've had an influx of super chats come in for the last few weeks, and it's because you guys got a lot to say, and we want to hear what you have to say. You super chat it, we'll read it during the show.
$5 will read your comments. $20 will cover your topic for a couple minutes. $50 will put you on the show on the V-Mix like our guests do. How about that? You guys write it in the super chat. Tell me what you want to do, and we will get you on.
What do we do for the guy from Taiwan that super chat $600?
Wow.
Can we teleport
He gets
him
in the
here?
Maz chair.
Is that a fact?
He super chatted 600. When?
At a post game show?
Hold on. Does the post game show count in the competition?
Well, the post game
That's
show
not fair.
is the longest running and most watched program on Woodward Sports, so I should hope it counts.
That does not count. That doesn't count. Everybody's even.
Are
I'm
you
tuned
mad
in.
about that 600, huh?
No, I'm not. It goes to the network. So if the network's winning, then
We all winning.
there it is. Speaking of winning, let's get to it. Detroit Pistons.
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Pistons, man, bad boys basketball.
Yes,
I won't
sir.
go that far, but they do indeed get a win last night against the Portland Trailblazers, coached by Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups also was honored.
Billups.
But Billups, excuse me, I have to do it right. Anson, I'll start with you. You were there for that run. You've been there for all the Pistons' glory.
Indeed.
What was that moment watching Chauncey Billups, and then we'll get into the Pistons and what they're doing. What was the moment like with Chauncey Billups and just being back?
I mean, when I first got out of school in 01, Pistons were terrible. I met a guy, Anthony Smith. Shout out Lil Ant. And he actually, when Benny Blades got here, he was Benny Blades like concierge, took care of everything for him. So he got set up with the Lions and
University of
Pistons for a
Miami.
long time. We got a chance. We were throwing the parties for the Pistons in 04 when they won the championship.
7.
And I got to speak. Yeah, oh yeah, 7. That's right.
Tiny blush.
Iconic. But Chauncey, some people say that Ben Wallace was the leader, and he brought the emotional leadership. But in terms of a true leader of the going to work Pistons, it was Chauncey Billups. Now, nobody on that team
You were at the
really.
Lions game on Sunday night.
Oh, I
Yep,
got a full circle for all
made
of
it
that.
on NBC there.
You know, obviously Sheed and Uncle Spliffy, they indulge, but the rest of the team, well, Memo, he could tip it back and still wake up the next morning, Janikowski style. But when you saw Chauncey out, he didn't smoke, he didn't philander, he didn't drink, he didn't do anything. And everybody else around him followed suit. This guy has been a class act from when he got here, from when he was unceremoniously traded to Denver for Mr. Greektown Iverson. And the guy still has
Don't forget the Fiverson plan at the Pistons.
no
put
thanks. I
out.
don't even want to talk
All
about
right.
it. The guy still got his 1 foot in Detroit. Chauncey still loves this city. He told me personally right after he was traded that he was looking forward to pulling his bootstraps up and getting his feet dirty in this city the way, quote unquote, Dave Bing did. So to be able to see him come back after getting into the Hall of Fame, seeing his banner up in the rafters, knowing what he meant to this franchise was absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, I almost wish it would have happened last year because I would have had no problem with Chauncey coming in here last year and getting a W. But last night was an important win for the Pistons to get to 500. I hated that it came at Chauncey's expense, but he took a minute out to come over and say hello to Anthony and I. The guy has just always been a class act. There's nobody that eclipses him in terms of class in Detroit's history. There's a few guys on his level, but what a blessing Chauncey has been to this city.
Yeah, 100%. You talk about the story that he didn't drink when he was out. Quick story, and we'll get into it. The Pistons more. He would never let me drink when I was out. Like, I didn't drink in college, so he didn't have to. So in college, I told him I didn't drink. He literally would come up to me, find me in the club. Are you drinking? What's in your cup? What you got going on? I was like, yo, Chauncey, you know I don't drink. Even when I got into the NFL, Maz, and I would see Chauncey out, hey, what's in that cup? I would have to hide my
great.
cup
It
and
is
bring up
great.
a water bottle because he always cared that I was representing myself and my team in the best manner. So
You can't
shout out
get
to
better than that.
No, you can't. Like he's Stack and Isaiah are my favorite. I have personal relationships with Stack and Chauncey, and then Zeke is Zeke. Zeke is Zeke. But getting to the Pistons, man, 118 and 115, they were way ahead of the pace that we thought they were going to be.
Man.
Another big night for Cade Cunningham as he scores 36 points on 9 assists and 2
That's
rebounds.
Tim Hardaway.
And that's where I was going.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going. It seems as though, Anson, these younger players are able to now start to thrive a little bit and understand basketball a little bit more because Trajan Laney, the Alaskan Assassin, president of operations, he went out and got some experienced players, some veteran players, but they also could play. Malik Beasley, one of the best shooters this year of the 3-ball in the NBA. Tim Hardaway is a guy that can find 25 points.
Steady.
As he did last night, he found 26 to be apt. So what does it look like with these experienced players? Because the Pistons, last time I checked, are 500. When's the last time they've been that?
Man, we were just hoping to see 30 wins, and we're more than halfway there, and we're not even halfway through January. Hey, I've been hearing a lot of accolades thrown at Tom Gores for paying off Monty. I'm sorry, but when you've been as terrible of an owner and you've never done anything right, when you push to do something so wrong, you better pay for your mistake.
I'm glad you said that.
I have no love for that
you said
move.
that.
If you spill paint, you clean it up, not somebody else.
You can't get credit for fixing a mess that you create.
That you forced. You forced. And so many people are leaning on Troy Weaver and saying how bad he was. I have to back you guys up. The Pistons that Trajan inherited had 6 core players with an incoming top 5 pick and wide open books. No bad contracts. And everybody's like, why is he getting this guy? Why is he getting that guy? These former bust top picks. Well, he wasn't keeping any of them for long. Yeah. And what he set Trajan up for was this perfect offseason where I don't know who Weaver would have gotten, but Weaver wanted exact players like this, and Trajan was able to do that. But you're absolutely right. You look at 2 guys with Michigan ties in Tim Hardaway Jr. as well as Tobias Harris that are happy to be here and come in and bring a presence and stability to a lineup that the moment you sit Cade, this team is out of sorts. Having those 2 guys on the court when Cade sits or in crunch time, it just completely changes the complexion of this team because the youth and the skill is there. But when times get tough and you come back from a 22-point deficit, which is what they trailed in that game last night, and things get tight in those last 5 minutes, we sat at Cade, I believe, from about the 8 to 5 minute point, and it was really, really tough. But it was Tim Hardaway and it was Tobias Harris that were breaking the press, that were finding open shots, that were getting to the rim. And that is something that this team has absolutely been void of for some time. In fact, we thought it was 10 years. It was actually 2018-19, the last time that this team was 500 past 30 games. That's Andre Drummond, Stanley Johnson, Blake, Bruce Brown, Reggie Jackson. I don't even remember these Pistons. And they certainly didn't win any playoff games. This team, the way it's constructed right now, you have a tremendous core. You've got 4 guys that I believe can be really great future guys, but then you've got those veterans. This team is a playoff team, and they will win at least one playoff
Let me
game.
ask you guys.
I'm going to ask you something, man. And it's about this Pistons. I just wanted to address something. They told me I need to pay attention more to the chat, and with all the super chat things that we're doing, I'm right here. My man, John Effing Lord, he asked me, he said, where's KG? Obviously, KG and I had a little fun earlier in the morning show. I chimed into the chat. We had a little back and forth. KG already told us that he wasn't coming in today, nor was he coming in yesterday. So that had nothing to do with me in the comments this morning. John Effing Lord, it doesn't work like that. It's all jokes. And also, as it relates to save your money for the super chat, for the heavyweights, because if they raise $1,000 in a week, Nick will cut off his mustache. That's cool too. Support both. Don't tell them to support. This is all the same network. So support us, support them. All goes to the same place.
You should cut off half of his mustache for $1,000.
I like that
that's
better.
even better.
I like that better.
All right?
Half the mustache.
Half the stash.
Tom Mazaway, where were you at?
Well, let me shout out KG real quick.
Yeah,
My man was doing 3 or 4 shows for the last 3 weeks every damn day. He deserves his 2 days off.
All right.
You get paid for that. You get paid for that.
Let me ask you guys something. I was away when Jaden Ivey went down, and I saw the injury, and my heart sunk for the kid. What is this team like going forward without him?
3-0. That's what they're like.
And does he come back this year? Can he come back this year?
I mean, from everything that I've heard, he definitely could come back, and this team is on a playoff trajectory. So I don't see why you would not bring him back. But somehow this team is 3-0 without him.
Well, the Lions won without Aiden Hutchinson.
That's right.
I'm just saying. I'm just bringing it up. I just feel bad for the kid. They were really getting in the groove. who steps up now in his stead? I know it's only been 3 games.
We can call a spade and say, look, they played the Hornets and they played the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Neither one of those teams are that good, but they did beat the Minnesota Timberwolves the other night. Anthony Edwards, very surprised about that. It comes with the territory. It's a patience process. They don't have Jaden Ivey, so you want to see what does it look like? How does Cade get better around? This is when Cade has to step up, if I'm being honest.
Certainly.
This is when Cade has to step up and realize how to get other people involved and really become that point guard, that player, that field general that court general, where you can see what's going on, how guys can get and make guys better in this space. Where's Cade at with you right now? Because Cade is a guy that the question always comes up. He's an all-star this year. He will be an all-star, I believe. I think he's played his way into the all-star. I think it's undeniable. But where is he as the guy? Is he a number 1 pick was always a question. Should we have drafted him? Is he the pick? Do we need help? Do we keep him? Do we trade him? Do we get the money? Obviously, they paid him now. Where are you with Cade Cunningham as being the guy for the Detroit Pistons to usher in this new age, as we hope so?
I am fully on board.
Okay.
This is a guy that's missed 100 games in his first 4 seasons. What he has done, though, is he's increased his points, rebounds, and assists year by year. But what I've seen this year is the game is absolutely slowed to a crawl for him. He has such control now that it's not just generating offense for himself, but he's nearly 10 assists a game. But his, the game from 10 feet to the basket and in, he's nearly unstoppable. But now his three-pointer, he's shooting at basically 40%. Nobody knows how to defend Cade right now. He, in my mind, is a third-team All-Pro, not just an All-Star. We talk about
he's this year's Kyrie Irving.
Hey. You look at the new NBA, and young guys don't affect the NBA as quickly as they do. Maybe 1 or 2 guys do, but if you really look at it, it's year 6, it's year 7 where these guys, it really starts to click and they become superstars. We're in year 4 for him, and it has clicked. What he's going to put on paper through this year and take his team to the playoffs, what you're going to be looking at next offseason, the conversation and narrative around Cade is this guy is one of the handful dozen top superstars in the NBA. He truly is special. Like, he's just unstoppable. I'd be fearful if I'm an opposing head coach on how to stop this guy. Because we've talked about the Lions. It was a blessing in disguise losing all these guys because everybody else had to step up, and now they're getting healthy. We're seeing the same thing without Jaden, right? And I think that he will come back. This team's going to be better for losing him, and then they're going to be full strength at some point. But Cade is the truth, Bray.
I'm glad you talked about the patience side of things. That's what the NBA is now. Like back in the day, Maz, I know you can attest to this. Guys were staying 3 years, 4 years. Guys were learning offense, defense. They were learning the plays. They were learning why you run certain plays. They were learning how to guard certain. They were really understanding what basketball was. Yep. So when the team would draft them, guys were ready, or they were a year away. 3 at the most. You talked about patience. You know who had 36 for the Portland Trailblazers last night? Anthony Simons.
In his 7th year.
Boom! That's why when you said 6, I said you're on to something. In his 7th year, he's now Chauncey's now starting to find the trust in him.
You know how
it's
old
year
he
7.
is?
25.
It's ridiculous.
25
and that's
years
what
old.
people miss.
When's Ben Simmons going to hit his?
What's that?
It came, it
when's
went,
Ben
and
Simmons
it never
gonna hit
was.
his feet?
All in the same time. Came and went, and never was.
Don't dirty this conversation with Ben Simmons.
I'm sorry, had to bring it up.
Man.
By the way, just a couple of weeks ago when they beat the Lakers, what did LeBron say about Cade Cunningham?
I missed that.
He said this guy was worthy of the number 1 pick. He is a number 1 pick.
Oh, 100%.
How about that?
According to the rules, let me get this thing right. Dante151 super chat, $20. Let me go ahead and get this comment. Thoughts on the Chicago Bears on wanting an answer from the Dallas Cowboys interview Mike McCarthy for the head coaching gig in Chicago? Man, in my eyes, that would be funny as heck to see McCarthy and LaFleur twice a year. It's a hell of a question. It's a hell of a turn. Maz, I'll let you start with this one. Where are you at with this right now?
Well, I believe Mike McCarthy wants the Bears job, but he can't tell Jerry Jones that because Jerry Jones has made it clear. If he says he wants to interview for the Bears, that's telling me he doesn't want to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So he's got to wait to see if Jerry is going to jettison him off or is he going to re-sign him to a new deal. He's got to wait for Jerry Jones on this. But I think the Bears gig for Mike McCarthy would be a fantastic hire for them. I think he'd be a terrific hire for them. He won 13 games 3 times with the Dallas Cowboys. Won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers with the Packers. He's a good head coach. He just got to get the right people around him. I think the Bears have a lot of talent, man. I picked them for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Had they hired Jim Harbaugh, they would have been a playoff team this
Bears
year.
versus Browns, right? That was your Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I love you.
I'm telling you.
I do too.
Don't bust my chops. That wasn't my Super Bowl.
Welcome back,
I said
buddy.
both made the playoffs,
I know.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the fire spirit that I love to see.
Dante, great question, and I love it. I hope he becomes the Bears head coach.
Hello, question. I got an. You want to answer that?
I got to say,
Go
the
ahead.
best candidate for Chicago is Ben Johnson. He is the new quarterback
How do you
whisperer.
know he's a leader of men?
Well, I've come around on that because I've actually sought out interviews with Ben Johnson. He has a lot more presence as, possibly the man in charge than I had given him credit for. So I want to walk those statements back. But
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, the catfish, is the equation here. And if you can't crack that code, you are now a franchise that has not just gone all in on 3 top quarterbacks over the last decade that have all failed so far, but you went beyond all in just using this pick. Everything, the whole narrative, this is a generational quarterback. We've given him all the weapons. You need a newer coach, I believe, that has that QB whisper ability. I don't believe that McCarthy, based on his track record with QBs, is that guy. I think that there's very few candidates that can be successful with the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are a 7-win season away from completely imploding. And they probably won't win 7 games next year unless they nail that guy. It won't be Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, he's been in Detroit long enough to know what will happen if he goes right next door and coaches the Bears. Go to New England, buddy. I know that they think it's Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
I think that's the best job for Ben Johnson, but the best candidate for
job
Chicago.
is right here in Detroit.
Well, yes, please stay,
Yeah.
buddy. Please stay.
2 things. First and foremost, Psalms 91. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We got some love and didn't
Thank
even
you.
have a comment. I have an idea who that might have come from. But getting back to the question Dante 151 posed, I'm not a Mike McCarthy sympathizer or nor I'm going to have his back, but I'm going to just state what the obvious is. The obvious is with the talent that he had in Dallas, like when they were healthy, barring this year from it, 13 wins, 12 wins. You get to the playoffs. You've gotten to the second round. Imploded in the playoffs. But if you give them a team in Chicago, you got a quarterback that you believe is going to be a future finish. When you look at the numbers, you look at the stats, you look at everything, it was a lot better maybe than you thought. You look at that defense. You look at the offense, has talent. They've got weapons. They've got DJ Moore. What are they going to do? They have Keenan Allen. They have Cole Kmet. DeAndre Swift. You can say what we want to about him here in Detroit. When they gave him the ball in times this year, it looked like he can handle the load. But he won't have Jerry Jones on his shoulder, being a distraction, being on the radio show, saying one thing and then doing another thing. You saying one thing and then having this space and feeling like everything is good. And old Jerry goes on First Take. And Stephen A. Smith, and now he's saying something totally different than what the players know. You won't have that meddling owner around. You won't have to deal with Dallas and the expectations of trying to get back to this place that they believe they're still at. 94 and 95 and 96 are way gone. This is the new Dallas team. You won't have to worry about that. I think Mike McCarthy he'll be able to breathe in Chicago. I ain't saying he's gonna win the Super Bowl, but I think he'll be, and I use aim for a fact, I think he'll be able to breathe, relax, and they're gonna let him focus on the football.
What exactly in Virginia McCaskey's history
Hold on,
would
before you
push
blast
you
the
to
McCaskies,
believe?
Don't forget the Fords were the McCaskies. Okay, they were. Eventually, the Fords got it right. Eventually, the McCaskies will get it right.
Okay, is it now?
I don't know.
Is she a better owner than Jerry Jones? No, she's not. He might be meddling, but his whole life is that silver star. Period.
It
I
is.
just watched Landman, and he
I saw
appears
that. He
in
did a hell of a job.
He did a hell of a job.
He's
Atlanta
ruined
show
them.
with Billy Bob
Is
Thornton.
he ruined them?
Yes.
Has he?
Yes.
Worse than the Bears have been ruined?
No, the Bears are ruined too.
Okay, the Bears
85 their last
are
one.
a joke of a franchise when you compare them to the Silver Star, all right? It all comes down to Swift, Sweat, all the players you want to talk about, it doesn't matter. There are 52 that we don't have to talk about.
Yeah.
There's one, and it's the catfish. If you cannot reach Caleb Williams, you are failing in Chicago. What tells you Mike McCarthy is that man?
Nobody in Dallas dislikes Mike McCarthy except Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones just used him as a manipulator because it's a $3.5 million contract versus with these NFL players. I'm not saying that he's going to win the Super Bowl.
No. I'm just saying, do you think he's the best guy to vibe, to unlock Caleb?
He's a player's coach. He's super chill.
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy that wants to get it done. He's an offensive-minded guy. He sees the talent, wants to have some success. And I think he's out to prove that, it wasn't just Aaron Rodgers in 2010. That it would have been the same similar situation if he wouldn't have had an owner that feeds into his star players. And now you got the star players don't like each other. Micah Parsons is your best defensive player. One of the best, and at one point, maybe the best in the league. Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt will have something to say about that. He didn't like Dak Prescott. And guess what? A lot of people don't like Dak Prescott. But Jerry Jones allowed that situation to fester. He gaslights that locker room.
He allowed that to fester, but at the same time, that's the head coach of a team that hates themselves. And I'm going to tell you, the Bears right now, there's not a whole lot of love for each other on that team, just as DJ Moore.
I put it to you this way. The Chicago Bears would not have allowed Mike McCarthy to pay Dak Prescott what they did and, double down and do it again. Yeah. How about that?
I mean, I'm not mad at you for that.
Listen, Mike McCarthy is going to he's got to bring the right guy for Cade. He's got
Caleb,
just
Caleb,
call him Catfish.
For Caleb. He's got to bring the right guy. But if you watch that Bears-Packers game on Sunday, and I did, and to see the Bears celebrate at the end of that game, they don't hate each other.
Yeah.
My daughter worked for that team this year. She worked this summer. She told me that's a good together team, and they treat their people right. I'm just telling you from the inside what my kid told me, and from what I watched a ton of games from the Bears this year, they could have been a playoff team had they been managed properly.
Had Tyson Bagent been their starter.
Here, let's do this. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Let's pay some bills, and let's get back, because I also want to touch a little bit more on Ben Johnson. Where should Ben Johnson go if he leaves? And the key word is if. One guy I'm for sure is leaving, one guy I don't think so. Let's get a message from Les Stanford. Get back on track.
Hey, it's time for a new car. We already know. Les Stanford is your people, all right? They've got some awesome deals. They're holiday deals. Even though holidays are past, you still got to take advantage of them. Blazer EV2LT with all-wheel drive, only $159 a month. Or the Equinox EV-LT for only $169 a month. See that QR code above my head? Give it a scan. Check out that massive inventory because they've got more than Chevrolet. They got Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Or what do we call that? DMAC, the DMAC.
Oh, the DMAC.
DMAC.
Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale. LesStanford.com.
The road to the Super Bowl in the NFC is going to go through Detroit at Ford Field, but it's also going to go through the second best bar, and that's where you're going to find the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show, brought to you by the smooth Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Every Lions home playoff game coming up this season, only at the second best bar, located at 42 Randy Watson Street in downtown Detroit. The second best bar, come get some.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got
Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning from Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Tangerine Space Machine is the easy drinking IPA with out-of-this-world flavor. Smooth and juicy with a refreshing crushability, takes your taste buds to the moon with Tangerine Space Machine. Grab yourself a can of this intergalactic hazy goodness, the official beer of outer space, brewed by New Holland Brewing Company in Holland, Michigan.
Excellent work, Maria. Excellent. Attention sports fans, do not miss out on our expert sports injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday with, right here, you know it, that Big D Energy joins us on Thursdays for the top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Braylon trusts, and we all trust him. Got that special sauce to go around. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call them 248-426-9944.
How can you not trust Dr. Jeff Pierce? Like, Matt's quick story, like, Pierce hit me up one time. This was about 2017 it's 18 or 19. He said, what are you doing tonight? I was like, I don't know. I'm thinking he's trying to get me to come somewhere, some banquet, some event, or some Red Wings alumni event. He's like, you like Lil Wayne? I said, you know what? Me and Pierce going to be good people. I said, me and Dr. Pierce went to a whole Lil Wayne concert and was backstage at Fox 2018. Shout out to Jeff Pierce. Doc, as they call him. Talk about Ben Johnson. The question is, the coordinators. What happens next year? You lose Ben Johnson. You lose Aaron Glenn. I'm not sure Ben Johnson's going anywhere, man. Now, Aaron Glenn, I think, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants Aaron Glenn.
He's going to the Saints.
His star has never been brighter. You watch him, and I feel like, am I just the only one? If you watch the games, like, after the defense has kind of done its thing and the games are kind of in good hands, 5 minutes left or so, don't you always catch a glimpse of AG sitting on the bench and kind of just
he looks great.
taking it in?
He looks like he's on the beach.
But he looks peaceful. He looks content. Because what did he say 3 years ago or 4 years ago? I want to be the best defensive coordinator in Detroit Lions history. And I feel like he feels that he is.
Oh, he is.
100%.
No doubt.
And I feel like this is the contentness, and he's looking at it from an outside view like, man, I can't believe the work we've done. He's not a selfish guy. But also, I know I'm leaving next year because he should.
You know who else agrees? About 15,000 Piston fans at LCA last night. Because AG was there.
Yeah.
Had one of those booths, one of the party booths at the end of the
He was
court.
with his wife, am I right?
He did.
It
He
better
did.
be.
And
It better be.
the whole stadium, when they put him up, stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Terrion Arnold, a few other players were there. It is so cool to watch these guys walk on water because unless your name was Spielman, Sanders, Herman Moore, Megatron, or Lomas Brown, you weren't getting much love around the city. There's guys I don't even recognize on this roster that they get up on that Megatron or the Megatron or whatever you call that.
Jumbotron.
Thank you, it's Jumbo.
Yeah. We'll call it the Megatron.
But
I like the Megatron.
But these
The Calvin
guys
Johnson
are
TV.
absolute celebrities right now, and as much as that is true in Detroit, it's true around the nation.
Yeah.
I think that AG, with that signature Week 18 win, no touchdowns, to a great Minnesota Viking offense, he punched his ticket. Absolutely.
I agree with you 100%, Matt. Just full disclosure, it's fun when you're winning in the city, man, and you go out to other games like Mavs 2007. Yeah, Cleveland is bad time at the time.
Still.
100%.
Stand by the lake.
Outside of Cleveland Cavaliers at the time I was there, like it was a tough space. In 2007, Browns were good. We went 10-6. A couple of it with 6 Pro Bowlers, and then the Indians, now the Guardians. That's when they had to run, and that's when they were up 3-1 on the Red Sox. And then obviously the Red Sox came back. But I remember going to the Cavs games, and they're cheering for Kellen Winslow, they're cheering for Derek Anderson, they're cheering for Romeo Cornell. Same at Braylon. Same when you go to baseball games, man. You get that love, man, and it's well deserved. It's good to see that it's crossing over from baseball to basketball, etc. But AG got voted best coordinator by the players last year.
Oh yeah.
So this is nothing new. As it relates to Ben Johnson, him not taking that job last year, I think has me at a pause where I'm like, maybe he just really appreciate
He's
this.
gone, bro.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let me
Why not take it last year when you had
I'm going to give you the team.
the Patriots?
It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to Jacksonville.
You take
Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Yes.
But hear me
A
out.
lot of talent on that team.
100%.
Dysfunctional franchise in that city.
Sadiq Khan.
True, dysfunctional owner. I mean, not owner, but dysfunctional coaches the last 2 years. Peterson's a guy that couldn't figure it out without Frank Reich. And then Urban Meyer, give me a break. So I wasn't going there, but I was saying, do you trust Trevor Lawrence, who's battered and bruised over 7 years?
I do.
Or are you going to trust up-and-coming Drake May, who showed you? There's a reason why he went third.
Job. That's
Okay.
Vrabel's job.
Okay,
that's why they fired their head coach.
You did
Okay,
say
so
that,
you're
John.
going to fire after 1 year a black linebacker, former player, and hire a white former linebacker the year after when you gave this guy the worst roster starting of the season? I got to say, man, like, that's a treacherous thing right there.
It is Boston.
Dancing with the race car.
That's
I
right,
love
man.
it.
That's right.
It's
Listen,
Boston.
Yeah, you're right. Boston doesn't have the best history when it comes
That's
to
what I'm saying.
And
That's
I
what I'm
can
saying.
see on that. And I thought that Vrabel was the guy. Their best. I think the best move for them is either one of those two guys. I don't know, man. Jacksonville. I'm looking at their ownership versus Robert Kraft. I know where I'm going.
All right, how
Jacksonville has the least media hate. You think that media is going to give Ben Johnson a hard time? That's the best place to go. You can hide in Jacksonville.
Is it less hate or just apathy?
They're building a stadium that's probably going to be one of the best stadiums in the whole country. They're putting a lot of money into there. Shad Khan is putting a ton of money into that team.
They won't be hosting any Super Bowls anytime soon.
Well, you know who might be hosting at least the NFC Championship is the Detroit Lions.
Yes,
we
sir.
know what you all came here. It's time to get on the Detroit Lions. Let's start off with a guy that we didn't think would be playing this past week. Not only did he play, he showed up, he showed out. He's the heart of that defense. Talked about it yesterday. Alex Anzalone. Here's Dan Campbell talking about number 34.
It was huge. Look, I've said it before. He's really our quarterback on defense. He's our quarterback on defense, and he just brings. There's a lot of confidence. He brings a lot of energy. He can calm the storms. He just to have him back, and I thought it was going to take him a minute to work himself back in, and it didn't take long at all. And he was back to what he was before he got injured, I thought. So, hell, we gave him a game ball. So, it was outstanding.
You know what? There's two guys when you get injured in terms of dealing with the comeback process. One of those guys is a guy that's going to get rehab. He's going to get it early in the morning. He's going to get it when he's going to get more than he's supposed to. He'll get it 6 a.m. in the morning. He'll go when meetings are over. He'll go when guys are eating lunch. He'll sit there and do the exercises. He's also getting his film in. He's also staying in touch with what the coordinators are calling, kind of how the schemes are going over the weeks that he's out. He's also in the gym. He's working out. He's staying in shape. He's keeping his mind as well as his body sharp for the return. And then there's a guy that's does just what the trainers tell him to do. There's a guy that may miss some stuff because I'll get back when I get back. And when I get back, I'll be able to tap back into it. And it's not what Anzalone did. Anzalone took the process serious. He knows what he means to this team. And he knows where the Lions' goals were to go. It's New Orleans. So he's taking it serious, and he had a hell of a game last week for a first game back with a broken wrist. You just never cease to amaze me how good this guy is and how dialed in he is to this team.
He stepped in like he didn't even miss a game. I was shocked.
That's hard to do,
He's
man.
supposed to be on a pitch count. He played 98% of the plays.
How many weeks did he miss? How was he out? 6, 7?
Yeah.
People
easy.
are like, well, yeah.
Matter of fact, Dr. Pierce said he's not healing right. He heard a rumor that he was not healing right because, let's face it, you break your forearm, your arm, you fix it up. You're putting a metal rod in there. You're going to wear a cast. And you're going to be able to play. But with a linebacker, man, to make those tackles and to get in there, he probably wasn't even ready to go on Sunday, but he willed himself to be ready. Yeah. And I take my hat off to him. He made that entire defense better.
It feels like we have 53 guys that are the former and not the latter of the two different types of players that you were talking about. The guy that is completely dedicated to getting back on the field healthy as soon as possible. We have a full locker room of those guys now. Yeah. A culture that not only encourages it, but, I mean, if you're not in, you're going to be gone. You're not going to be in Allen Park anymore. This team, I mean, I know we say culture so much, but the culture is more than just on the field. These guys, like, we probably see Hutchinson in New Orleans. We're going to see Monty in the playoffs.
I don't know about the first one, but we'll definitely see Monty in the playoffs. Let's hear from the man himself. Here's Alex Anzalone.
It was fun. Obviously it's going last and, have the opportunity to run out of the tunnel even, after being out for a long 6 weeks. It was a blessing. And, I love our fans. They're so supportive, and they get excited when we need them.
Tom Mazaway, you said something during the clip?
Yep, we got some news from Dave Burkett.
Please be good news. We need some good news.
21 seconds ago.
There we go.
Campbell says he expects to have David Montgomery back for the Lions' first playoff game. Said he also got positive news on Terrion Arnold, Kevin Zeitler, and Pat O'Connor. Bad news for Derek Barnes and Carlton Davis. They will not be back by the Super Bowl.
Anson, I come to you, but I start with this. Demo, we all had a good inkling that we'd get him back. I feel like the energy has been good over the last couple of weeks, especially see him on the sideline. Yesterday, I talked about the one that we had to have, and that's Kevin Zeitler. And the reason why you have to have Kevin Zeitler, you have to have them all. I'm glad they're all healthy. Kevin Zeitler in that pulling guard, man, like he's the guy that gets the engine going for this offensive line, especially when you run the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs and you're doing all those quirky things where he's able to put his foot in the ground and go opposite the grain. That's huge for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to skip to the offseason, but is there a more important guy to re-sign?
No,
not in my opinion.
No, not. I mean,
he was a steal for what they paid. He's been one of the best guards in the NFL.
In the league.
But what you talked about is really, really important because Ben Johnson loves to do really creative things with his pulling offensive linemen. And when you don't have Zeitler out there, you're limited in the things you can do in the play-action passing game, the short yardage passing game, and obviously the running game. Hearing him and Terrion are going to be available, huge.
Also, too, like Jahmyr Gibbs is comfortable. Like when he's in there with his offensive lineman, especially the guy that he's following behind, which is big Kevin Zeitler, Penei Sewell as well. Kevin Zeitler does most of the pulling. Like, you're comfortable. I mean, you get the ball, you're not even necessarily watching all, and I know this sounds crazy, you're not necessarily watching Kevin the whole way. Like, you legitimately know where Kevin's going to be. Yep. You're analyzing what other moves can you make. A lot of that stuff that we see Jahmyr Gibbs do, trust me, that's not on the diagram. That's not on the play sheet. It's because he knows where Kevin Zeitler is going to be, so he's able to anticipate moves, and then he makes them.
It's exactly that. Yeah. It's the comfort level where you don't have to see him. You can feel him, and you just know where he's going to be. It's that symmetry, you know?
Speaking of that, you want to talk about Baldy's breakdown of Jahmyr Gibbs? Jesus Christ, 4 touchdowns, 170 yards, man.
Baldy loves himself some Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and Maz loves himself some Baldy. I've been waiting 3 weeks for you to get excited over him, man.
I just love this guy,
Let's go.
man. Let's face it, you're breaking down this Lion team. Let's start it off. Baldy's breakdowns. Let's go on Jahmyr Gibbs here, Pete.
What a day for Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions in Week 18. Goff sees both safeties deep here from Minnesota on 1st and 10. They blitz off the edge, and Gibbs just stings them right there. He's got one man to beat. Cade Bynum, he just runs right through him right there for his first touchdown of the day. But it's just, he can do everything, though. Here he is. He's just going to line up at wide receiver and just beat Blake Cashman right here in this shallow cross. Like anything you want him to do on a football field, play's called for him. It's a man beater, and then he beats Cashman for the first down. And then you watch this right here. Remember, this is Sam Laporta. Remember last year? Laporta was a second-round pick at Iowa. Gibbs, the first-round pick. Watch Gibbs and Laporta right here go to work. And there goes Gibbs turning the corner right there for that 13-yard touchdown. And then you get this right here. You want to beat the blitz? Zero blitz. Van Ginkel's got to cover Gibbs right there on that Texas route. No shot. That's his third touchdown. And then the blitz pickup. So that Goff can get that ball right there, okay, to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then you just started wearing the Vikings down in the fourth quarter. Sewell going to work right here, all right, opening up the hole, and then it just turned into a track meet. Like nobody could catch him. 47 yards, sets up this. And then you just want to see some good blocking right here. Some good blocking right here on the edge. You watch these guys go down. Watch Sewell right here. Sewell, Laporta, Brock Wright, Ragnow. Let him go finish. And then he led the National Football League, all right, with 20 touchdowns scored, including his fourth of the day right here. Good block by Ragnow. A little help from his friends. Everybody joined in the party. Who doesn't like those Lion uniforms and those buckets that they wore on Sunday night to win the division, become the number one seed? And Jahmyr Gibbs was the all-around back that they needed.
Baldy said it. Gibbs turns every game into a track meet. And when you saw him last year early in his career, a lot of those situations he would stretch it fully out to the sideline to try and maximize that speed. Now he has so much confidence in his overall game. You watch that first run, he would have gone around that last year. He squeezes right in between them. All of these runs that we've seen him this year, there's so many times where I've expected him to pop all the way outside. But he's like, I'm just going to blast by you. The speed of this kid is unbelievable.
4th and 5, and they went to J-Mo. It was a blitz. They hit J-Mo for like a 2-yard pass. And I'm like, oh, my God, is he going to get around that linebacker?
Yeah.
He sure hell did. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh, man, we're going to be short. Poof, right out there, man.
Yep.
The speed on this team, man. Speed kills.
Yeah, speed definitely kills, and we have another comment from Baldy talking about the speed of the Lions. But just before that comment goes up, you watch it, like, speed does kill. Like, and even the guys you don't necessarily think is fast, Amon-Ra St. Brown, last time I saw it, he took a 70-yarder against the Buffalo Bills. Nobody called him. Dave Montgomery a year ago against the Los Angeles Chargers. He went up that sideline. Great block by J-Mo. He didn't get caught. Speed is king. Brian Branch, how fast does Brian Branch play? How fast does Alex Anzalone play? How fast does Aiden Hutchinson play? Speed is definitely king. That's one of the things that destroyed the Big Ten for years. Is they didn't have any speed, with the exception of who? That team down that team down south, Ohio State. But then they tend to catch up. But speed is king. And here's Baldy on the Lions' speed.
Jared Goff is the leader of this orchestra. This is 4th and 5, late in the first quarter. The Vikings, after that motion by Amon-Ra St. Brown, they get in position late in the count, right? They want to confuse Detroit, and they do. They get a free hitter. Josh Mattel is coming right at Jared Goff on 4th and 5, and Jared Goff is going to take this gut punch right there and hit Jameson Williams in stride, and he turns the corner with that blinding speed and gains 14 yards and a first down. And then the next play, they do this. The very next play, they motion Brock Wright right here, all right? Kind of an off-centered fullback position. He's going to block number 51 on this fold block right here. All right, Blake Cashman. And this is a wind-back play with the safeties deep. All right, you got Cade Bynum and Harrison Smith deep. And right here, Gibbs has one guy to beat, and that's Cade Bynum. And his blinding speed goes right by the safety, making it 7-0. And the speed of Jameson Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs just keep showing up in this offense.
Hell of a job by Brock Wright on that play. I'll get to the J-Mo clip, man. Hell of a job by Brock Wright. And what I mean by that is when he goes through the hole and you see it, he has to search his guy out. A lot of times when guys are doing a play like that, they'll look, they won't see anybody, they kind of see his guy, they'll get the pucks in the round. By the time his guy looks, his guy gets over. He gets over him. Now he gets an arm on him. Now he gets arm, gets knocked out. Now he doesn't make his block. Who knows if it's a touchdown or not on that play? Not Brock Wright. He went to his guy. He said, I'm going to just get on him so they don't have to worry about that. The Jameson play, that second guy, 99% of guys in the league aren't getting by that second guy because he had the angle. And he was ahead of J-Mo, not J-Mo. J-Mo was able to go straight down that line and get around him. That guy is electric speed.
I thought he was done.
Like, electric is a little too understated for him.
And I'll tell you about Brock Wright. Did he make a good decision not going to the 49ers and taking that deal?
Oh, my God.
Fantastic signing,
the Lions matched that deal for a reason.
He turned down, 1.5?
Yeah.
It was 1.5 and the Lions the Lions matched it.
Yeah, Lions paid him, man. That's something. But J-Mo's speed is – it's like I can't wrap my head around it. He's that good. He's that fast.
So is Gibbs too, though. You know,
I
mean,
love
the two of them. How
my
do
favorite
you
back in the
sleep
league.
knowing you got to defend that?
It's so funny. It's almost like, whose speed would you rather have? Because J-Mo straight ahead is faster than Jahmyr Gibbs, and no disrespect, it's not close. And I know that sounds crazy. It's not close. But Jahmyr is 4.3 speed straight, but he's quicker than almost anybody I've ever seen in terms of the quickness. So you mix that 4.3 with that quickness, he's doing he's doing something that people can't do. You can name backs that has looked something like it. LaDainian didn't have this type of talent.
Listen,
like, in terms of ability, naturally, excuse me, not the actual
crazy
itself.
agility.
Hey, when they drafted
But
Gibbs,
super fast.
When they drafted Gibbs, we all look back and say, "Why are they drafting him?" But then you go back and you look at his tape, and I looked at him at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And the Georgia Tech tape is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
How did he, when he went to Alabama, how did he not become like that guy?
Because it's Alabama.
Because they have so many others.
Especially, it's Alabama.
So he basically was hidden in there. And guess what? The Lions scout the hell out of Alabama. And they got themselves some real winners, man. And Brian Branch, come on, man.
They know how to draft.
They stole those guys.
They know how to draft.
Yeah.
And you say everybody, but there were two of us at that draft were fully on board with the Jahmyr Gibbs pick. Shout out my man Stick.
100%. Look, let's take a quick commercial break. I want to get back on track because I got a question that I'm going to pose to you guys. We also want to get on the defensive side of the ball. Meek Robinson, you know the game that he had last week. Definitely got some sound from him. Got Baldy on him as well. The question I want to propose to you, now that you've had 2 days to digest the game and you had excitement, Detroit Lions, they won by a lot. Oh, we're good, we're great. Can the Lions play like they played this past Sunday and win in the playoffs? At least in the second round. Just let that sit in. Can they play like they played? They didn't play well in the first half offensively, and there were a lot of open plays that Sam Darnold wishes he could have back. Matt Stafford's not going to miss that pass.
Neither is Baker.
I don't believe Baker Mayfield's missing that pass. And I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to miss that pass.
Let us know your thoughts in the super chat, 100%, and we'll get to them when we come
100%.
back.
100%. But now let's get a message in from Merch, trying to step your game up.
That's right, everybody. Head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now. Get yourself some of that great Detroit Lions merch that we have all over the website. We also have merch for you Pistons fans, you Red Wings fans, and we haven't forgotten about you Tigers fans as well. Shop.woodwardsports.com should be your home for all the latest and the greatest Detroit sports merch. And then you can spend some more money by heading to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. You can fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com, choose your favorite roast, use the code word Woodward, and you'll get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We'll be right back.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Hey guys, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Give Mark White and Associates a call today, 248-290-8242. Hit them up online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242, to make your dreams come true.
Take the chore out of getting your hair did at Lady Jane's. They're industry-leading stylists. They just make it nice and chill for you. They allow you to come in 7 days a week. You don't have to set things up. You just walk in any one of those numerous locations around Metro Detroit. You get that hot leather neck shave, the relaxing scalp massage, and that whole hot towel treatment. And it's a pretty awesome deal. Again, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is wicked awesome.
My man P Spider, and hell of a job by Maria Adamo in the audio booth. We appreciate you.
Nice job, Maria.
Eastside Maria.
100%. She's doing a hell of a job. Before we went to the break, we talked about can the Lions play the way they did this past Sunday and still get the win in the second round. So I know you guys are chomping at the bit for that one. But let's just talk on Amik Roberts for a second. Yesterday, we didn't get a chance to see you. We talked about Amik Roberts. We talked about the game we had. We talked about the relationship. Justin Jefferson, they've been going at it since high school. They went at it in college. He knows this guy, Amik Robinson. He had one of the best quotes that I've heard in a very long time. Man, what comes from the dirt, you can't
bury it.
There it is. You can't bury it. I was setting you up to see if you were paying attention. And you were hell of a job. And this is a guy they brought in to be a slot guy.
Well, he's too small. He's just a nickelback.
100%.
He can't be a starter.
That's what I thought.
He certainly can't be a number one. He's certainly not good enough to defend the best wide receiver in the NFL. But, man, familiarity goes a long damn way.
And here's DC on Amik Robinson's performance.
It's the reason we signed him. We were fortunate enough to be able to play against him. Had crossover tape last year. He is competitive. He's as competitive as they come. He doesn't turn down any challenge. And, no matter what, you can say, hey, go cover that guy, and he's going to give you his best. He's not going to shy away from it. He's not going to fear from it. He has skill. He has ability. And it's not always going to be perfect, but you can bank on what he's going to give you. And once again, man, he showed up for us. And look, we doubled some. We fisted over him. We had to where he had to help over the top, but then we'd single him up too. And Amik's just been you know, he's really one of the guys that has helped us play really good defense this year and play the style of defense that we want to play and AG wants to play, to be able to challenge more on the perimeter. It's big for us.
One of the stars of Detroit's defense was Amik Robertson. He was basically assigned to Justin Jefferson much of the day, man covers. Now, they clouded the top of him, but they took him out of the game. You watch it over and over again. Here he is, just sitting on this post corner, just waiting for it, reading the route. Excellent job. Just taking him out of the game. You watch him right here. Here he comes in motion. Here comes Amik with him. All right, now, Sam Darnold's looking to the right first, but he comes back to Jefferson late, and Amik Robertson's right on him. Throw's not there. All right, now here you go. Here he is right now. So you're going to watch this throw to Jefferson, and Amik Robertson's right there. Like here it is in the end zone. Probably thought he should have had it in the end zone. Kept him out of the end zone. Plastered him in the end zone. Wouldn't, just sticky all day. I thought Amik Robertson's job right here. You watch the double team right here with the safety, Melifanu right here, and Amik Robertson. Excellent job coming out of the bunch, squeezing this right here. Both guys right there. 3 catches on 9 targets for 54 yards. Challenged them all game long. Changed up, got sticky with them, got uptight with them. One of the stars. One of the stars. Till the very end. You watch him right here in the slot. Like, just never let him shake free. Justin Jefferson didn't beat him in this game. But Amik Robertson, one of the best games I've seen him play. Tough assignment, was up to the challenge.
And that's a hell of a game. Look, man, I've had teams double cover me before, and you play the man over top, play the man underneath. At the end of the day, they did some of that, but they're a man-to-man team. This is Amik Robertson probably 50-50. Probably 50% of the time was man-to-man coverage last week, and then 50 was man under. He had a hell of a performance. There was some plays that was open that Sam Darnold missed, but as a whole, he was right there. And Justin Jefferson looked uncomfortable, and you can tell because even in the midst of all that, Justin Jefferson still dropped the pass.
I love you said that because
he dropped the pass because he was frustrated and uncomfortable, and you know why? That's because Amik Robinson wouldn't let him breathe.
And Darnold was also frustrated and uncomfortable, and you saw that on display. That was my thing is the body language of Justin Jefferson throughout this game got worse and worse. And then you saw it on his face sitting on the bench when this game was over in the fourth quarter. He was exhausted, frustrated, and beaten.
Yeah, he was. Tom Maswell, anything to add on that, or are you ready to jump into the topic?
No, I think he played a phenomenal job. Everyone played. They played their best game of the year, the defense. Hands down, it's not even close. They saved their best for last. And let me ask you, did Alex Anzalone do that much for this defense, for these guys in the back, to play their best game?
I have to say absolutely, and it's not talked about enough what he did on T.J. Hawkinson on Sunday night. For me, we talked about it during the week. T.J. Hawkinson was that X factor for me. A guy that we didn't have to play the first time that we had played them. A guy that's got some revenge factor to come back here. And obviously, our linebacking core was just shredded. So to be able to get a guy that can cover him, you're basically going to ask Campbell to do that. And Campbell has kind of been our do-it-all guy. Getting Anzalone back and being able to have him all over him. Listen, Baldy was talking about sticky. There was 2 guys that were sticky. There was actually 3. There was 3 Leach-like people that were just stuck. And one of them was also Mason Leach, who owes Stick $350 despite not having a physical handshake. So we'll be looking for you, Mason the Leach.
All right. Yeah, we will. We have a $10 super chat real quick.
Burn.
I wanted to say about my man Burn. It was kind of the game needed. It's the kind of game that needed an old NFL films music and John Facenda sing in order to defeat the Vikings. The Lions would take back the black and call upon the aid of an Raider. Good call by you, man. Shout out to that.
I love that, man.
Yeah, and even the T.J. Hawkinson playing. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. You talking about guys, a Pro Bowl player, he's an elite tight end.
Absolutely.
He short armed that pass.
He took a beating.
Sam Darnold didn't throw the best pass. He should have put it right on Hawk, but he tried to catch the ball like this. You don't catch a pass like that because you're not like what you do. Soup used to tell me all the time. You stop and pop. You knew that ball was gonna happen. What you do is you stop and you jump. You get as high as you can. When you try to catch the ball like that, you know what that tells me? You were looking for 34.
Yep.
You were looking for 32.
Yep.
You were looking for one of those lions to blow you up, and it didn't happen. You missed the ball, and that was a hell of a time because if you think about it, that was a 3rd and 14 or so, and they still were in striking distance.
He saw Kirby's ghost.
True.
Yeah. No doubt about it. And I remember when we traded him.
Yeah.
And then they interviewed him, and he said those magic words. Hey, I'm finally on a team where I believe we have the opportunity to win. I mean, I'll never forget those. And I'm messing up the words, but all the Lion fans know what I'm talking about. And I liked Hawk.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but they knew what they were doing, huh? Wow, did they know what they were doing?
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of flack they took.
He landed in a spot that wasn't too bad, sitting at 14-3, I will say. All right, I pose a question. I'll ask you. Here we go. The way the Detroit Lions played in that game, is it enough to win in the second round? It was sloppy in the first half. Offense kind of was a little bit get going, then they would stall a little bit. Then Jameer would score, then they would stall. Offense for the Vikings missed some plays. The pressure was, just like it's been all year. It's kind of there, kind of not. They got some guys coming back. David Montgomery will come back. Kevin Zeitler will be fine accordingly. Terry Arnold will probably play, as we're seeing right now. Can they play like they played this past Sunday against the Bucks, against the Commanders, against the Vikings again, or against the Rams? Because Sam Darnold doesn't have playoff experience. Neither does Kevin O'Connell. But those other two do. 2 of the other 3.
For me, the best part of Sunday's game was it was a unifying win for the fan base. There are certain fans that still don't believe. There are certain fans that are fully on board. But almost all of the fan base demands we win a certain game or a certain way. But what you're ignoring is what we've heard from Dan Campbell from day one. We've heard it ad nauseum all this year. You can put up 700 yards as long as we win. I don't care. We can put up 50 yards on offense and still win, and I don't care. What I saw in that game was a tightly contested first half where we held them to 0 red zone touchdowns.
Yeah.
That specific game. Every single game that we have watched, all 17 of them, the 2 losses, come on, man. You have a perfect game from one of the greatest quarterbacks we've seen in the last 20 years, and they win by, 6? You see a nearly perfect game from Tampa Bay, and really kind of a poorly offensively called game on our side, still within earshot of winning that game. This team plays each week at a time. They're emotionally, psychologically dialed in more than any other team, not named the Chiefs. And they are just going to play it 1 week at a time. They're going to take each opponent, and they absolutely, playing the way they did all year long, including Sunday night, have enough to win every damn game, including the one in New Orleans.
Tom Azaway. Dan Quinn's been to a Super Bowl. Sean McVay's won a Super Bowl. Who else is the other?
Sirianni.
Sirianni has gotten to a Super Bowl.
Kevin O'Connell with the Rams got into a Super Bowl.
I have a feeling they're going to be better than Kevin O'Connell was with his play calling and decisions that he chose in making that game.
They will. And you asked about any of these other quarterbacks can make those throws.
Baker Mayfield, Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford for sure can make those throws. We all know that.
Baker's your guy.
I love him, and he's playing out of his mind, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
And he's got the Bucs right where they need to be. We're not going to play the Bucs the first round here, the second round.
They play the Eagles.
They'll play, They're going to get the Eagles if they both survive, and they probably will, because the way Green Bay's playing, I don't see them hanging with Philly. Although the spread's only 5, and that's because Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol, guys.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
He's still in concussion protocol.
Didn't clear it yesterday.
If they were going to play, he's not cleared yet.
No, he didn't clear it yesterday. I'm saying,
If they were playing this Saturday, he might not make the game. They're playing Sunday, but you don't know how good he's going to be. So, out of all these quarterbacks, Jordan Love, not sure if he's going to make those throws either, Bray, to be honest with you, the way he's playing. Baker Mayfield.
I don't trust Green Bay.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, I think he can make them. Matthew Stafford makes those throws. If you're going to play the way they played on Sunday against the Rams, the Rams might beat you. the Rams, and I'm talking early in the game.
Yeah.
First half.
Right.
The Lions play that same half against Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Matthew Stafford. They'll make you pay. And you don't want that.
But their defense won't. Their defense isn't like the Vikings. Honestly,
there's another guy that we were right on. We both wanted Gerard Verse.
Oh, yeah.
We both wanted Gerard Verse. He had a hell of a year for the
He sure
Rams.
did.
Really has.
They
Really
drafted pretty well as well.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not worried about any team outside of Philly. I still don't think that their locker room is right. I still think that they have some issues personnel-wise. They're not the cohesive machine, the culture machine that we see for the Lions. There's only one team in the NFL that I believe that the Lions could be beat by, and that is a team that's won the last 2 Super Bowls. This team it has the feel of destiny. We've been around some championship teams in this city, and there's nothing about this team that feels
Not in
different.
football.
Oh, no, sure. but like the other teams, that when you kind of just knew this was the year, it just feels like it. My biggest thing, though, is how they play chess with each team differently, and nobody is on their level.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. I think we have to take it back to that. Like, once we got around week 9, week 10, whatever it was with the Houston Texans, when Jared Goff 5 interceptions, you're going to lose this game. And they come back at a Jake Bates field goal and win that game with a hell of a call by Dan Miller, who will be with us tomorrow. Like, I feel like that was the week where you're like, okay, this is destiny. You get Green Bay in the rain, you beat them in the rain, you got to come back twice against the Minnesota. So I feel like that's when you started like, nah, they're gonna win. So to your point, Maz, it just feels like this is the year of destiny. Injuries haven't blocked them whatsoever.
They're the best team in the NFL, even with all these injuries. And they've got a date with destiny. They'll be in New Orleans on February 9th. And there's only one team that'll give them a hard time, and it's the Ravens. I don't believe the Chiefs even give them a hard time. Oh, the Bills beat them. Not the second time. The Lions would beat the Bills the second time. The Ravens with Lamar Jackson is the only team that will give the Lions a real fight. That's my
What
belief.
about the Kansas City referees?
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs.
Right.
Sorry.
The Kansas City referees are going to help them. There's no question about that. But I worry about only one team, and that's the Ravens, and it's only because of Lamar Jackson.
Maybe change their name from the Chiefs to the Zebras?
Perhaps.
Peace by that. What you got to say about this, brother? Let's get you in there.
Tell you what, man, I have full confidence in the Lions. I'm still on the Stoke Not Scared wagon. I mean, that's just the way it's going to go. I mean, until Dan Campbell and the coaching staff show me otherwise that they're losing control, which is obviously not going to happen, I have full confidence in the Lions to do what they need to do. I think I would have had full confidence in the Lions to win on the road if they fell to the 5th seed. You got the everything at home here, home field, home fans, home money. You got all that money coming into the city, which would be great. Everything, it's just positive vibes are also going to help out the Lions. I don't see any way that the Lions are going to lose anything, Bray.
Randall Smalls dropping in $5. Appreciate that. This team could be the greatest team ever. And when it's all said and done, I don't think he's wrong. If you look at the trajectory of if you look at the totality of what the season has been, you look at the players on this team, you got some of the best players in the league. When it's all said and done, some of these players might even be some of the best players to ever play this game. To win 15 games with the way that this injury-ridden season has played out, that's an amazing task. With all the, with everything on the line, last game of the year against the Minnesota Vikings, a team in which you've played once, a team that's supposed to be this, well, they're the great equalizer. They have Sam Darnold, who has a similar story to Jared Goff and how they're making it. Kevin O'Connell's like Ben Johnson. Well, they beat them too with those guys. So, Brandon, you might be on something.
I brought up a thing.
Got to win it all, though.
I brought up a topic during the holidays a few different times, and I would like to ask the two of you as well. I've always believed that there would be a Lions Super Bowl team, despite what my grandfather said, despite what my dad said, what my uncle said. I never expected it to be like this, though. Talking about 7, 8 possible future Hall of Famers, talking about premier players at multiple positions. I was expecting a no Hall of Famer, going to work type of team where they snuck in with 10 wins and they got it done in the playoffs. But this team, hey, Nick Bosa said it. This is a cool team. This is the most enjoyable team and most intriguing team to follow in the NFL. Not just this year, but in quite some time.
It's funny you said that. Notice Maz and everybody else also too. It was funny. Rich Hustle, I agree with you. 2024 is a year of Detroit sports. Michigan win the national championship. Pistons been winning like crazy, and Lions about to win the Super Bowl. You know what you forgot? Your Detroit Tigers made the playoffs.
That's right.
Detroit Tigers did make the playoffs.
And the
this year.
draft was here. It was a hell of a year for Detroit sports.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, but the talent is there for this Detroit Lions team. They're full of talent. They're completely stacked, and they're all together. Usually, you'll get a team that has a lot of talent, but regardless of, even if they win the Super Bowl, there's something there. There's some player that doesn't like some player, or something gets out about this coach or that coach, or what's going on behind the scenes, like you see with the Eagles. But they put all their business out there. You don't see it with the Lions. You just see great players. You see a great schedule. You see a great record. And you see great cohesion.
Culture.
It's the culture. Dan Campbell has built this, and it all stems back. Dan was on that 2018. How many times do we forget Dan was on that 0-16 team?
Mm-hmm. And I mean, just thinking about being able to come back to. Yeah. This isn't just a franchise. This is the most down franchise of all time. He got a big taste of that. He understood what it meant to not just be a Lion, but it meant to be a Detroiter. I have one hope, and that is that, much like Mike Tomlin, we never see Dan Campbell coach another team ever. Stay here for 20 years, baby. Let's go.
I'm with you.
Maz, what would it take to knock this Lions regime off course? Like, not this team this year, not this. What would it take to knock this regime off course?
By getting rid of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Well,
as long as you have those two guys, everyone else will fall in line.
Right.
So it stays intact with the coordinators leaving?
It will be the Steelers. It'll be the Steelers moving forward. And I mean the old Steelers. The Steelers that don't fire coaches. In my life.
Was that Dick LeBeau was there for 60 years?
I'll be 63 next month. 63. There's been 3 coaches. I can name the 3 coaches. Yeah. Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
And Dick LeBeau coached under all of them.
He sure did, and he was a Lion.
100%.
The only problem that I see in their future is something that I don't see Dan Campbell making the mistake of doing. So far, since he came in here, and mind you, basically the lowest contract for a head coach, didn't receive interviews anywhere else. But when he came here, he brought an all-star cast of assistant coaches. Guys that we all knew, from Mark Brunell to Green and Deuce and everybody else. But he also was not afraid or shy to pull the trigger on getting some guys out of here. Goodbye, Aubrey Pleasant.
Friends even. Remember what he did with Anthony Lynn, who's a friend he convinced to come out of retirement, and then he fired him.
That's right. And so this guy isn't just a football guy. He is a leader, and great leaders understand how to identify other great leaders, and they put them in positions of power all around them. He's going to go in, probably lose both of these assistant coaches, because I believe if we win a Super Bowl,
and that
they will both be gone.
Them.
But they will take, but I'm going to say there's so many guys that want to come coach here, that want to have that stepping stone to become a head coaching candidate. And Dan Campbell just understands people, and people want to follow Dan Campbell. I don't see him making a mistake, bringing back players to be able to fill in. Tanner Ingestrad, it's our future offensive coordinator next year.
Or Mark Brunell.
Nope.
Captain of the chat, Dante151, we appreciate you. How awesome would it be if all 4 Detroit Pro teams made the playoffs? ? It would be the first time in Michigan sports history.
Stick and I have been talking about this since the advent of Woodward sports. The 20s are the decade for Detroit sports. I thought it was going to happen a year earlier. Took the Pistons a little bit longer. It's going to take looks like Hockeytown's going to be a year behind as well, but we are fully in it with the Lions. We have one of the top 3 farm systems in baseball, and a whole starting roster of just young dudes, and maybe an owner that's ready to spend some money. It is awesome. It is an awesome time to be a Detroit sports fan.
25-26. You know what's cool about it, too, is a friend of mine, I talk about every once in a while, George David, associate GM with the Detroit Pistons. I was sitting around his crib like 2 weeks ago, and we were just talking. I said, do the GMs overlap? Like, are you front office people? Are y'all hanging out together? You going to bars or games or having restaurant, breaking bread and seeing what the general consensus is, or picking one another's brain? He said, we're always sitting down. He says all of us. He says he named some names. I keep them hidden. But he said, we're connected. You know, we hang out, we talk, and we're trying. He said, you don't think we've been pulling from the Lions and what they've done and the moves they made? Because remember what Sheila told us when she first started this, it wasn't just about football. How she went about it wasn't about how every owner else. It was about business. She sat down with CEOs. She sat down with executives. How do you run your business format? How are you able to have success? She approached it from a different way, and I think that's what the Pistons realized. That's what the Tigers are hopefully realizing, and that's what, come on now, we already know you won a championship down there in Tampa Bay. Come on, Stevie Y, or Stanley Cup, excuse me. They're pulling, they understand, so they're having these conversations. So that's good to know. Because when you have success like the Lions are having, it's like, are y'all like asking questions? Like, are you guys emailing? So yeah, they're doing that too.
No doubt, man. And someone in the chat, I forgot who it was, but when you mentioned what will throw the Lions off course, he said Sheila passing away. If Sheila passed away, that would kill the Lions.
Knock on wood.
So God forbid.
She's gonna be around for a long time.
She ain't going anywhere, man. And again, the Bears owner just celebrated her 101st birthday. So we're all right, man.
102.
102nd, Virginia.
So
Virginia.
You kind of alluded to something there that
John F. and Lord is funny, by the way.
well, that these guys have created something that other teams they're taking note. And I think that they're having this kind of evolutionary impact on the game of football. 4th down attempts are up. Look at the Vikings on Sunday. They were taken out of their game. They're not going for those on 4th down and inside the 15-yard line 16 other weeks of the year. You know what I'm saying? What the Lions do before you even step on the field with them is they got you thinking you're going to start doing stuff that you can't do. And while other teams are playing catch-up on the field, they're also going to be playing catch-up in the front office, because what the Lions are doing, they're taking an old-school approach to player drafting, player growth, and maintaining them on your team. They're building a culture as well as a roster differently than anybody we've watched over the last 20 years.
Yeah, like when I was playing in the league, like when you practice 4th down plays, like there's a day we usually do it on Thursday, which is, what is Thursday in the league? It's past its third down.
The 4th day of the week for 4th down.
This is true. It's third down in third down in red zone. But that's when you go over your 4th down plays. It's like 2 to 3 plays, maybe 4. So, like, when teams get in situations, like, I'm pretty sure the Vikings were like, all right, look, we got weapons just like them. We got Addison, we got Hockenson, we got Jefferson, we have Aaron Jones. Like, look, if we got to go for it.
They got a lot of talent.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. They're like, yeah, if we have to go for it on 4th down, we will. Like, we got enough talent. See, it doesn't work like that. It's not just the talent.
It's the confidence, too, baby.
The Lions run 4th down like 1st down, like 2nd down. Like, there is no just this play. There is no, well, we put in a special 4th down play. No, it's our offense. Like, our offense extends 4 plays. You know what? Let's run this clip and then we'll take a break and get some bills. I want to get this out of the way. Jared Goff talked about the defense because it's about the defense and it's about the injuries is how far the Lions will go. Well, here's Goff on the defense. Injuries won't stop them.
I can't say enough good things about what they did tonight. I mean, it's unbelievable. And again, everyone keeps writing out how injured they are and depleted, and they don't care. It's next man up, and played their absolute tails off today. And that's a damn good offense they just played. And no touchdowns, right? I believe, yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable what they did. They bailed me out a couple times, bailed us out offensively a couple times, and team win. We appreciate it. They were unbelievable. What our defense has done with the amount of guys they've had out, and they don't care. They don't flinch. They don't care. It's a mentality. It's who they are. It's what Dan breathes into them. It's what AG breathes into them. And it's just who they are just as humans. They don't care. You keep taking guys out, they don't care. They just keep on coming, and they're a dangerous crew right now.
Yeah, they're a dangerous crew right now. Something just broke. I guess there was some news that a Lions fan pushed a pregnant Minnesota Vikings fan, or pushed some pregnant ladies. So now apparently we boo kids and we push pregnant women. This is an outlier. There are assholes everywhere.
Right.
Excuse my French.
Absolutely.
Excuse my French. When I was playing for the New York Jets, came back to a game. We played the Cleveland Browns, where I was from, where I played the first years of my career. After the game, we beat the Browns. A kid gets assaulted by a grown man that was wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey. The kid had on a LaDainian Tomlinson Jets jersey. There are buttholes everywhere. That is an outlier situation. It has nothing to do with who the culture of this fan is. We know what our city is, and we know who our fans
Absolutely.
are. In fact, the best damn fans in the NFL, and that's coming from a Jet. We'll take a quick
Wait,
commercial.
I have a different response to that. Welcome to Detroit, where the weak are killed and eaten.
That was a little aggressive, but hey, you know what I like? Trending Viking superfan Sir Death posted that his 8-month pregnant girlfriend got pushed by a Lions fan and nearly fell down the stairs. When she recovered her balance, she told him, "That's real classy." The Lions fan responded, "Stupid BI, TCH." My response to now seeing it is, should protect your woman a little better.
Wow.
Should protect your woman a little better. I ain't letting nobody push my pregnant girlfriend down those steps, so maybe you should be a better man. Let's get a message in from the pregame show. My man Anson Wayne.
Is that me?
Actually, no, that's me.
Oh, that's
I was
Pete
gonna say,
Spivak.
how am I going to follow that truth, baby? That was absolutely great truth there, Bray. Well, you can do the Lions pregame show. It begins with Woodward and Maine. Every Lions game day, early in the morning, 8 to 9 a.m. Lions game day. Woodward and Maine with the great Terry Reginald Foster III and Matthew Broder as they do the Woodward and Maine Lions preview show, as they will get you ready for all the Lions playoff games coming up. And then following Woodward and Maine, it's the New Holland Brewing Company and the Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey Detroit Lions pregame show with the great Sean Baligian and the even greater Neil Rule, as those two will antagonize all visiting fans, and they will also break down the upcoming games for the Lions as they get into the playoffs. And it's brought to you by the New Holland Brewing Company, Tangerine Space Machine, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, and 1800 Tequila. What follows that? All that, Anson.
Hayes Social, where fantastic pizza is prepared and eaten. We got that watch party with the heavyweights, as well as the post-game show with my man Stick and myself. Now, we won't be there this weekend. We've got one of the greatest Lions game ever this weekend, where we don't play and we still win. But we will be back in 2 weeks. Whoever we're facing off, you want to come and join us. If you weren't there on Sunday night, you missed an absolutely packed house. We got the Lions, what is the song that we play after we score?
Forward Down the Field.
Thank you, Forward Down the Field. We got amazing food. It is a packed house, and we've got the biggest TV screens in Metro Detroit. There is no better place to watch a sporting game or a Lions playoff victory. Once again, it's brought to you by the New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, and our great friends over at Soroki's.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
This is true. Time to get some of those wings because this is where the real fans' favorite. It's Soroki's where they have the, oh my God, the lemon pepper rings. I had those last night, by the way. Cheated on my diet. I should have told you guys that. Cheated on my diet, but the wings were good. It was worth it. Lemon pepper wings. 7 new wings for a limited time only. You got to pull up on these guys because once again, Soroki's knows how to do it. 7 flavors, including the barbecue, the honey barbecue that is, and also that buffalo. Buffalo sauce is a little different, a little spicy for you guys. We got to watch out. Crispy chicken and pizza is what they do best. They've been doing that for years, and still it hits like it did the very first time. And oh, by the way, they got the fountain soda for my man Tom Mazaway. Soroki's were the real fans' favorite. Oh, no, you don't have to interrupt me.
About the Soroki's, man, when we come back.
Don't have to interrupt me because at Planet Fitness, you can do it your way because there is no judgment. Those 50 metropolitan Detroit locations. Yeah, this is the gym for you because it's the gym for everybody. There's no judgment. There's a membership there's a trainer with every membership you purchase. And like you said, it's no judgment. So come on down to this place, man. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is. Oh, fitness that fits into your budget.
I got to share my Soroki story. I've been telling my cousin about Soroki. He's been hearing about it for weeks. He's got 2 kids, and he went out and got it. And his son, Ara, 5 years old, he's like, Dad, I want pizza. I don't want the chicken tenders. So my cousin Jared got the chicken tenders, and son, Dad, can I try those?
Yeah.
So he took a bite, and he turned to him. He said, Dad, can we get Soroki's every day? True story. They loved it.
They could be on the next Soroki's commercial, maybe.
They definitely know how to do it, and it definitely is convenient for the kiddos.
Yeah, I want to throw something out at you guys.
Please do. Oh, super chat, please. Read that, man.
Oh, yeah. We'll do the super chat, then I got something for you.
Go ahead.
This is coming from Marcus Crenshaw, all the way from Italy.
Nice.
He's in the military, residing in Italy. Big fan of the show.
Thanks for your service.
Love the show. Makes me feel like I'm back home. Who do you guys feel will be the less talked about player to make a huge difference in the playoffs? So a lesser talked about player that will step up his game in the playoffs. We'll talk Lions here. So what's your choice there, Craig?
I think I'm going to go with the guy that both of you have mentioned throughout the show. I'm going to go with Melifonwu.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Melifonwu. Like, he's come up crucial, especially at a time where you need to get that pass rush. That's why they blitzed so much last week. If he's a really good blitzer, he comes off the edge. He also is a great form tackler. I think this is a guy that has some players. I think to a tune, maybe even a sack and a interception throughout this playoffs. I think this is a guy that you're going to hear his name a little bit more.
I know we said his name a lot today, but up until today, up until Sunday, Amik Robertson was a mostly unknown guy to casual fans. With the news that Carlton Davis is not returning, that Maz just shared with us, that puts Amik and Terrion on the hot seat.
Yeah.
We've talked about Terrion all season long, since April when he was selected in the first round by the Lions. But Amik, a smaller guy, a guy that was signed to be your slot corner, he stepped up in a big way on Sunday, and he's going to be asked to do that through the remainder of these playoffs.
Remember when I used to never could pick one? I always have to give you 2 or 3?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to take it back to old school. Be easy for one. Muhammad on the defensive line.
The Prophet.
100%.
I love
the
him.
Prophet Muhammad, man. Like, you talking about a guy that he's gotten his chances. He's gotten 2 sacks in those spaces that they need him in, and they were big sacks both times. I think this is a guy that's going to get some pressure as well. He benefits off of Za'Darius, and Za'Darius has been a great mentor to that defensive line.
Can I say Jack Campbell's name?
No.
We don't talk a lot about Jack Campbell.
We have the last 3 weeks, pal.
He's been like
with the addition of Alex Anzalone,
okay,
I think it makes Jack Campbell that much more dangerous, to be perfectly honest with you. I think you're going to see him really step up his game in the playoffs. Shout out to Marcus in Italy.
I think he has.
God bless you.
He'll be asked to be in coverage less, and he'll be dialed in kind of the way that you saw Branch last year. He's going to be floating all over the place, blitzing, dropping to coverage, stopping the run. I think it really frees him up to be the player that they drafted him to be.
All right, I want to bring this up to you guys now.
Oh, go ahead, man.
The 4 games that are coming up here, the NFC games, there are 3 games coming up this weekend on Sunday and Monday. I want you guys to tell me who you want to win each game, because I want to know who you want the Lions to play the following week in the divisional round. Anson, are you paying attention to me?
I am.
Or are you looking at the track?
I thought that was
Okay.
an
First game
accident.
is Green Bay at Philadelphia. Anson, who do you want to win that game? Who do you want to win that game?
I want the Green Bay Packers to win
That
that game.
means you
of
would
course.
get the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Braylon, your choice.
I got to start off for all my Lions fans. The answer is I don't care. And neither do the Lions. Had to get that out there for you
Truth.
guys.
Real talk.
But yeah, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
They're hurt. They're imploding. Yeah.
But let's just say Philly wins that game. Okay.
They're going to.
Yep.
Washington and Tampa is the game Lion fans must pay attention to. Because if Washington beats Tampa, you get
Jaden
the
Daniels.
kids coming to Ford Field.
I-
Now,
ROI.
I want Washington. More than any team, I want Washington to come to Ford Field. I'm going to root against Baker and Tampa because I want Washington the following week. What say you guys?
I want Baker. And I know Baker's had, and he got snubbed on the Pro Bowl.
I love Baker. You know that.
No, 100%. This isn't, you're not giving Baker hate. I want Baker, and it's because of the same fact why we don't want to play him. They've played them this will be the third time. They know that team. They know Baker Mayfield. Jaden Daniels is a complete unknown. Last time we saw the Commanders versus the Bucks, they almost beat Tom Brady and that Bucks team. It's just sometimes, was it Taylor Heineke? Sorry. So it's the unknown. Jaden Daniels is the guy that can get outside the pocket. You're talking about it. I understand that, Maz, but you're talking about a defense that they're trying to patchwork it. They're trying to figure it out. And they've patchworked it. It looks good, but you got a guy that can pass, a guy that get on the outside. He's got some weapons.
They can't run. They can't stop the offense.
But Jaden Daniels can run.
So what? Stop him. You stop the team.
I would rather play them. I would rather play.
You want to play the winner of Minnesota and the Rams instead of Washington? I don't.
But you just asked me about this game.
I know, but this game controls the next game.
Yeah, because the 7th seed would
Give me
have
Baker
to play.
Mayfield.
Okay.
Give me Baker Mayfield and his Tampa Bay Buccaneers that limped themselves into this playoff. That limped themselves into this playoff.
So if they win, they would get the Eagles. All right, go ahead.
So there's two things that the Lions defense struggles with this year, and that is very mobile quarterbacks and the deep ball.
That sounds like Michigan.
And Jaden Daniels is very, very good at both of these things. They do have a solid running game. They got 3 guys that can run the ball. They've
Brian
got
Robinson Jr.
Eckler as well. They've got some good wide receivers.
Scary
They've got
Terry.
Ertz playing well. What doesn't scare me about Washington is their defense. So I would not mind having them here at all. That being said, this is a revenge-driven team. We have watched this team go 2 seasons without losing back-to-back games. And anybody that they lose to, they come back and embarrass.
And that would
just
be
ask
who?
Dallas, just ask the Vikings, ask Green Bay, ask anybody that we've lost to in the last few years. We put them on the calendar and we come and we smack them down. Now,
week 2,
to be very honest, Tampa Bay, they do have some confidence to be able to play us. They've got an offense that's going to be tough to stop. And we may not even see them if they were to win.
If they win, we don't see them to the NFC Championship.
For sure. Now,
if they win that.
That being said, there is nothing sexier than this team going down that destiny road, getting a chance to get back at him and beat him. I do think, though, the NFL loves a rookie story. I think that the Commanders are getting by Baker Mayfield.
And then the Monday night game is Rams and Vikings.
Stupid, guys. I still don't like this Monday night game stuff. But
It is
anyway,
horrible.
Right, it's tough.
It's horrible. There should be 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday.
Why is there not one in Week 18, but there are in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Money.
Doesn't make any sense.
Just give
Money.
the ABC, ESPN guys, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, a game, obviously, but give them a Saturday or a Sunday game.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to watch a Monday night playoff game.
Yeah.
It's not right for the team because now they're going to follow. They got to play a short week the following week. And I don't care for either one of these teams, to be perfectly frank. So I don't care. It's better for the Lions that these 2 teams are playing on Monday Night Football. I'm just saying I'm rooting for Washington because I want the Lions to play Washington.
Who do you
That's
think
all.
wins out of that last matchup that you don't want either squad, the Vikings or the Rams?
I want the Vikings to win. I think the Rams beat them.
I think so, too.
I think so too. And it makes 3 of us. Pete, you probably 4 on that.
Oh yeah, no, I am in agreement, boys.
Playing Sunday night, getting your butt handed to you, getting on a plane, having to deal with the emotions of that loss, being a 14-3 team and being a 5 seed, going on the road and playing a Super Bowl MVP that's been there, that understands the playoffs. That is a really tough turnaround for the Vikings.
Super Bowl winner.
Yeah. Well, he was MVP too as well, wasn't he?
Cooper Kupp.
I appreciate that correction.
You would have done it.
No, for sure. I appreciate the correction. I don't like being wrong, bro.
How about the AFC? We'll go. This is for Anson because we didn't get a chance.
Oh, I'm gonna give you some gas. Speaking of the Chargers, you see who the Chargers signed today?
I did.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott is joining their practice squad until he gets rolling again. You never know. They might need a goal line guy. I don't know if he can get out of his own way anymore. But
they're a ball control team. It's a good addition.
He's there.
Yeah.
So what do you like there? Chargers or Texans?
He got two Ohio State running backs by a Michigan coach, by the way.
That's right.
J.K. Dobbins, Ezekiel Elliott, and head coach, Michigan guy.
Where's that game played?
Chargers.
It's in Houston.
It's in Houston.
Houston won their division. So Houston is playing for the 8th time in the playoffs Saturday at 4:30. Every game they played in the playoffs has been Saturday at 4:30. You're 5-2 in wild card games, guys. 5-2 in wild card games.
Harbaugh or Houston? Okay.
Houston. They just can't get out of the divisional round.
I got to say, when we were here on Friday, we talked about the predictions for the Vikings game. And for the next 2 days, I was sick about it. I told Pete right when I got there, I was like, I should have taken the under because that was a playoff football game on Sunday night. And the playoffs are just tighter. They're a little less scoring. The defense is focused. Ball control's a real thing. And that is how San Diego is built. Everything in me wants to say it's CJ's game after he's been kind of, called a bust after year 2 after being so good last year. He's got a great offense and a very good defense. But Harbaugh knows how to win in the playoffs. They've got a tremendous defense. Herbert's playing very good, and he doesn't turn the ball over. You run all over the Texans. You keep CJ and Mixon off the field. San Diego, man.
You could have stopped after you said Harbaugh wins. You could have just stopped there because that's what he does. Maz, all season starting in the beginning, I was as high before the season on the Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud. I said that he would be the MVP running. I was one of those guys. But when the season started, what did I tell you the whole season? Somebody's Texans.
Yeah.
And it was before the injuries of Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins, who has come back. I agree with you. I think it's the fighting Jimmies, according to Ryan Ermanni. I just think it's the Chargers. That's what he likes to call them. I think he has that. You talk about cultures. Like, all that stuff that he did was corny, and they all had jokes in the offseason. They all were on social media talking about, man, it's Harbaugh. I don't know about him. Derwin James, who was the most vocal, is now the loudest when they're cheering and breaking it down. And I think Derwin James is going to have a big game. So give me the Chargers as well.
Steelers at Ravens. Ravens favored by 9.5.
Before I answer that, let's pay some bills. Let's give Super Chat an opportunity to let us know who you think are winning these playoff matches. Got some time. We got some goals, so send those Super Chats in.
Well, since we're breaking down all these playoff matchups, why don't you scan that QR code above my head and get yourself your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. And when you do, use the code word Woodward1000, deposit at least $20, and make a bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you will get that first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan the QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to get your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
1800 Tequila, the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions, watch parties, and post-game shows. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game. Live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, the proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila, and drink responsibly.
Are you even old enough to drink, Maria?
I'm 21.
Oh, there we go. We'll drink responsibly.
Don't worry, I'm legal.
Just making sure. I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Maria, when's your birthday?
May 29,
Oh,
2003.
okay. Maybe.
Okay, there you
All
go.
right.
So you're a Taurus or you next?
I'm a Gemini.
So Gemini starts maybe like the 25th, 26th.
Also, there's two of them.
Okay.
Movement timed birthday party.
My dad's a May birthday. My dad's May 20th.
There's two of them.
So is my daughter.
May 12th. Oh, yeah, we've talked
Because
about
May's
this
the
before.
best month.
Love May.
I
I married in
that,
May.
but it's a great May.
Kentucky
It's
Derby
a great
month.
birthday. It's
That's
a great
right.
month.
It's Derby month.
Derby month.
It's Derby month.
Kentucky
It is a
Derby
great
month.
We're getting close already. Got to play your ringtone.
Oh, baby.
Time miles away. You
We're
finish up
talking
the show,
AFC
Yep.
playoffs.
We left you on the edge of your seats for Anson looking out the window, but he was going to give us the Steelers-Ravens winner. Ravens favored by 9.5, my friend.
Listen, the Ravens, they will win this game. The Steelers have had their number.
You're really going out on a limb,
forever. The Steelers just look really down right now. As nice as it's been to have Russ running that offense, they're not dynamic. Their best offensive player is a problem. I love me some George Pickens, but he's a problem for that franchise.
Yeah, he's a problem in more ways than one.
No doubt. And Mike Tomlin, I'll be honest, for the very first time at the end of that Bengals game, he looked tired and a little old and a lot frustrated.
Good call.
So I don't love the way that they're trending. And man, how the hell do you stop Lamar Jackson?
I'm not even taking this game serious. I told you I never believed in the Steelers this whole season, even when they were doing their thing. I just don't like the Steelers as it relates to trusting them in the playoffs of being a serious contender. So I had the Ravens in the Super Bowl, so can't pick them.
And then the final AFC game will be the Broncos, who got the laydown from the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. So you got Bo Nix going against Josh Allen.
I am calling 2 rookie wins in this playoffs because the NFL loves that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix will be in the second round.
You're calling Bo Nix to beat
am.
the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
I am.
What? Why?
Because you and I have never been fully on board with the Bills.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think the Bills and the Packers have an issue, and it's their abundance of talent without a true place to put the ball.
Yeah.
Like, give Jaden Reed the rock 9-10 times a game. Give somebody on Buffalo outside of
Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, you got Khalil Shakir. You got
Keon Coleman.
Keon Coleman and the kid that they traded for Cooper. Thank you. But nobody really, the ball doesn't go anywhere specifically. He's got a lot of options, and I kind of feel like sometimes that's a detriment. The defense of the Broncos is stout. And this kid, Bo Nix,
he is stout.
Man, hand me those golf balls because he's carrying around some of his own, man. This guy is the captain of this team as a rookie for the first time since 1967 for a reason. They're cooking. They got momentum. And again, they don't fix them but the NFL sure influences them. And they would love nothing more than to see their two golden rookies, one from the AFC and one from the NFC, Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix, playing in week 2 of the playoffs.
I like a lot of what you said. You know, you look at that Buffalo Bills, that defense has been vulnerable. We've seen spots. Look at them against the Lions. Look at them the week before that. Look at the week before that. They've definitely been vulnerable in spots. And Sean Payton, he's still Sean Payton. You've seen the job that he's done. He got Mims in the Pro Bowl, by the way. So they got a wide receiver, Denzel Mims. And on the defensive side, led by Patrick Surtain.
Marvin Mims, not
Marvin
Denzel Mims. Marvin Mims made the Pro Bowl?
He did.
Over Sutton?
Marvin Mims made it. He's like 1,100 and like 10 touchdowns.
Wow.
He made it.
Wow, I didn't realize he was having that kind of a season.
Or he's like alternate, but yeah, he definitely. But anyway, I think I'm going with them as well. I'm just waiting for the Buffalo Bills to implode. I think Josh Allen can't do it by himself.
They might implode, but it ain't gonna be this week. And Kansas City will wind up playing the Chargers, and the Ravens will play the Buffalo Bills. You don't think the NFL wants Ravens and Bills?
Sure they do.
Of course they do.
They do.
Then the winner of that game is going to play, obviously. I hope the Lightning Bolts can beat the Chiefs, and they might, but it'll probably be the Chiefs advancing, and then the Chiefs would play either the Bills or the Ravens.
If the Broncos were to win that game, what would the seeding be, Mass?
The Chiefs would play the Broncos. And the winner of, let's say the Chargers win and the Ravens win, they'd play each other.
And those are some marketable games as well. Maybe not as much as Lamar, Josh, but it's going to be interesting. I just
the Broncos should have beaten the Chiefs early in the season, if you remember.
I think
they missed the field goal. They've had a field goal blocked for the game winner. But this is the playoffs now. It ain't regular season week 7.
I just feel like the NFL's desperate to wash that catfish taste out of everyone's mouth because they pressed it, this generational quarterback, and they were so wrong. But you got two guys, two completely different styles that are leading their teams from the basement of their division to the playoffs, a la C.J. Stroud last year. And we saw him win a game.
Yeah.
I think the same thing is going to happen for both these young rookies.
The Buffalo Bills lost to the Patriots not last week. They lost to them in the regular season, December 22nd.
Struggled against them.
This is the Patriots. No, they lost.
But they struggled all game into an ugly loss.
Like you said, it's a month ago, and this is the playoffs. It's time to turn up. So we'll see what Sean McDermott and Josh Allen have to say. If they don't, Sean McDermott could be looking for a job.
Yeah, if he loses that game, he's done.
Rightfully so.
Wings in Ottawa tonight, guys. Wings go for 5 straight down at LCA. We'll see what happens.
I think I think that. Where are you with the Red Wings? I know you in and out with the Red Wings, but I'm just waiting for that player that the Red Wings can get.
Well, I think it just comes down to Yzerman and that Yzer plan that we hear so much about.
Oh, yeah, the Yzer plan.
Do not give up on a guy that wants to be here in the salary cap era because no one else has gotten it right since Kenny left and the cap was put in place. Players believe in this guy. He does have an eye for talent. He has been successful in other spots. And realistically, you had to change the culture here. And it seems like he might have finally gotten that right with this new head coaching move.
Only time will tell. We'll see tonight, man. Ottawa Center, Detroit Red Wings. Tom Maswin, great show out of you, buddy.
Back at you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Maria.
Anson and Maria.
Nice show. We're done already?
It came
what?
and went.
I'm so excited to be back with you guys that quick.
You'll be back on Thursday.
2 days.
Time flies when you're having fun, gentlemen.
See you Thursday.
I look forward to seeing you guys Thursday.
Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We're trying to get this super chat thing rocking and rolling, so bear with us. But just keep active, keep being active, and so we will do the same. Thank you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, man.
Thank you.